Start.
Hi, sir. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Kautuk Kashyap. I hail from Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh, which happens to be the cultural capital of the state. Mother is a government school teacher. She teaches physics in school. My father is a deputy manager in a public sector bank. And my sister has pursued MBA from Pune and is now working with a MNC based in Pune. I have done my graduation in Bachelor of Engineering in Information Technology from Jabalpur Engineering College, after which I joined a tech consultancy named Capgemini India Private Limited in Mumbai as the post of senior software engineer. I have done my schooling from St. Xavier's High School, Jabalpur itself. After my job, after 2 years and 4 months of my job, I quit it and started preparing for civil services. And after giving it for 3 consecutive years, I decided to take a turn and just join the academics. And this is why I just applied for this. So
You want
after
to
my
join the academic or you want to join a college for your PG course?
yeah I was willing to join a college for my PG course because along all these 4 years I developed my inclination towards the social sector, and this is why I just applied for
So what are the other courses you have applied in this?
first no, my first priority was HR and LM.
But you just said that you have been got interested in social sector in
Yeah,
last
so
3.
people centric jobs can be done through human resources, plus the amount of corporate what do we say, the brand building which this has done in the corporate area, along with the social sensitivity, that would help me in my sustenance as well as my interest in the social sector.
Okay, and the second preference was
Second preference was development studies, and the third was urban policy.
okay. So you did not get call from HR
No
and
sir, I
develop.
did not get called for HR and development strategy.
So why did you apply it for urban policy? Matlab, what were the key motivation while applying for it?
Sir, as we know that in this 21st century, urbanization is at its incredible pace. We have the data from UN that in India, after 2050, the population living in urban areas would be 814 million, and this would cross 6.3 billion benchmark all over the world. So there are development opportunities plus the challenges, some old, new, and the upcoming new ones. And this COVID has just the limit of opportunities as well as challenges. So urban area, I have always stayed in urban area, and I too have a rural connect too. So it has almost always just it has always been my interest to work in urban areas and understand the challenges, the social inquisitivity. It has increased. So this is why I just wanted to work for it.
Yeah, what I was asking you, what are the key component of this course which you like
Sir,
to pursue
first
vulnerable?
component would be urban sustainability, the amount of resources which are limited, plus the population growth, which is at par with the time. Though management of resources with the given population, this particular course focuses on the sustainability aspect of urban governance. This has so this particular key point of the course has attracted me to pursue this.
Okay. So coming to the point of challenges of urbanization, so or problems of urban setup. You know, so what do you think that the problems comes by unplanned expansion of urban area or problems comes by not giving proper opportunity to other areas to get developed, like we are putting more and more burden on urban areas than rural areas. So what should be our priority? Should we go for tackling the problem of urban area, or we should work in a way, or work for the economy in a way, so that all areas should equally get developed ahead?
Sir, I believe that there should be a equitable resource distribution wherein urban areas which have population concentration plus high resource requirement should be developed, and also it should be developed in a hub and spoke model wherein the satellite townships and the rural areas surrounding the urban areas would be given equal opportunity to develop. So in this case, the resource distribution would also be equitable, plus the spatial area where this all will be developed will be sustainable.
Okay. So, do you prefer to have a planned city or a city which grows through evolution?
Sir, I would say that a city which considers the contemporary changes and also moves with the changes would be the perfect city to live. You cannot plan everything at start, but you have to leave it on time and population and the environment and the resources and everything else, plus the conditions like COVID has taught us many things which we can use as an opportunity to develop a city or a rural area, or for that matter health sector.
Okay. So you hail from Jabalpur.
Yes, sir.
So tell me few of the urbanization problem, yeah, urban-based problem which you see in Jabalpur.
Yes, sir. So Jabalpur comes under the smart city mission, which is the flagship mission of government of India, where 100 crores would be allotted to a city over a period of 5 years, and a special purpose vehicle has been created for this. So what I saw was that first of all, the smart city mission has its pros and cons. The pros would include that it has a certain amount of citizen participation, plus the the structure of this mission is like that a city has to continue with its old ethos, plus in plus induce some technological advancements. So I have seen some typical problems of Jabalpur, like the ponds, the local ponds, which were reinvented and remade, still have the problem of drainage. The local area drainage still goes to the pond. Although the beautification has been done, but it is just on papers, it is not at all sustainable. The drainage issue of the city same, plus multiple power centers like the special purpose vehicles also consists of a team of bureaucrats. The district administration also consists of the bureaucrats, plus the municipal corporation where the local government has the power. These three power centers make the work haphazard, in a haphazard way. So these two three main problems I just seen in my city.
So what about educational and health infrastructure of your city or traffic?
Health, sir, health doesn't comes under the smart city mission. Of course, it is being carried out by the district administration, and there are three hospitals, but they are the problem and the plight of the citizens have remained the same all in all the urban areas. So I didn't mention it especially for my city. So it has all been same years. Although I would say that information communication and technology has improved, and there are certain programs of government of India which are now running and which are helping the citizens in their educational and healthcare advancements, but still a lot needs to be done.
Okay, and what about traffic?
The traffic management, the under the smart city mission, for instance, there is an integrated command control center which has been developed in the city, which has been set up in the city, as well as the photo camera enabled traffic systems, wherein you, if you violate the traffic rules, the challan would come to your home. But the practical problem is that they are not even in a functional state. Plus, the civic participation is also less. The people participation is also less.
Okay. So what city administration has done to safeguard your cultural uh,
Uh,
aspect
uh,
of your
uh,
city?
Sir, I would just beg you to repeat it because your voice was not audible
I
for
was
me.
asking, do you know any policy or the scheme or the thing that local government has done to safeguard your the city's cultural heritage?
Yes, sir. Under the same smart city where the encroachment team was in discussion with the officer of the head officer of the smart city, there were two, three historical points. Like we have Chausat Yogini temple in Bhedaghat, the Bhedaghat, which in which Narmada river flows through the marble rocks. It is one of its kind in world. So some beautification was required to be done. Amongst the locals, it was made a point to not to hamper the uh, local the primitive statues near the temple. So this was made a point amongst the district administration, local municipal officers, plus the Smart India heads, that this particular area needs to be uh, needs a beautification in its own way with the consent of local people. So this is a particular case study which I know from my city.
Okay. So can you also tell me about some of the demographic detail of your city?
So demographic details, I'm not sure because I don't have any data of my city particularly. I searched it in the district collectorate site, but that too I was not able to. I know some of the details of the state. So if you
No, okay. So tell me some of the economic activities that is being done there.
Okay. So majority of the population are servicemen here. We have three factories. Jabalpur has three factories, the which comes under Ministry of Home Affairs directly. That is gun carriage factory, ordnance factory, and vehicle factory. Apart from it, there are public sector and private banks. And a major chunk of people also here are traders. They are Jains, so they run local shops for grains and clothes and ornaments.
Okay.
So it is a mixed bag.
Okay. Now let's go away from your city also.
Okay, sir.
So I'll be asking you one simple question, not simple question, something that to be think upon, thought upon. So with the coming of lot many expressways, the recent government, the current government is very much focused towards bringing lot many expressways. So does this expressways which passes through any city or which starts from any city or ends to any city, does it uh, in order to improve the urbanization or challenges, does it increases the challenge or it solves the problem of that city?
Sir, it has two sides to it. If a city is connected to other city through an expressway, I have a practical example. While I resided in Mumbai, I also traveled to Pune. And another half of the stint of my job was in Pune. So I kept traveling in Mumbai Pune expressway. What I observed was that the development related to two cities, particularly Mumbai and Pune, was very high. But the adjoining areas were left in the pace of development. In the just the compensation amount which is being given for the land acquisition to the farmers is not requisite enough, or so to say, there are not enough measures which are taken for their rehabilitation. So in this way, the adjacent villages and small towns are left apart, although government is trying to have certain measures. Like I know in my relatives, like I mentioned that my father is also a farmer by profession. So we have our native village. So in that village, there was a canal which needs to pass through the area where my relative had a farmland. So what they tried was, they tried to convince and give some compensation, and also promised a job of fourth grade, which also proved to be sustainable. Plus their ward would earn for them in future, so this would make up for the family loss, because there are cultural values, historical values, financial values connected to the farmland for a farmer. So it is more than an income source. So there are two ways which needs to be handled very, very tactically, I would say.
Okay. चलो, thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
मार्क्स वाइज तो तुमको मैंने दिया है 70 के आसपास.
Okay, sir.
कमी रह गई तुम्हारी. जैसे कई बार क्या होता है कि क्वेश्चन हम पूछ रहे हैं बट यू आर नॉट आंसरिंग द सेम क्वेश्चन.
Okay.
जबलपुर सिटी की प्रॉब्लम पूछे या उसके सिटी के मतलब अर्बनाइजेशन का जो इशू पूछा, तो मोस्टली यू इन्वॉल्व द थिंग्स दैट इज बीइंग डन इन स्मार्ट सिटी ओनली. तुम्हें बाकी चीजें भी ऑन, एंड आई हैड टू आस्क लॉट मेनी अदर क्वेश्चन टू ब्रिंग दोस इन आंसर.
समझ रहा था
पहले ही
सर.
तुम्हें बता देते, ठीक है. दूसरा, द लास्ट क्वेश्चन दैट आई आस्क कि एक्सप्रेसवे बनने से सिटी में चैलेंजेस बढ़े हैं कि कम हुए हैं. एंड यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, तुमने क्या बोला, जो आउटसाइड सिटी एरिया है उसके बारे में तुमने ज्यादा बताया.
मेरा ऐसा मानना था कि मैं बस ये बता दूं कि एक्सप्रेसवे बनना बहुत अच्छी बात है, बट जो
नहीं, वो
लैंड
ठीक है.
एक्विजिशन लॉज हैं उनको भी
नहीं
देखना
नहीं, वो
पड़ेगा.
तो हम वो पूछे नहीं ना.
अच्छा,
आई डिडंट
मैं ये
आस्क.
समझा ये उससे. हाँ.
नहीं, हमने पूछा कि अर्बनाइजेशन के प्रोसेस में वो सॉल्यूशन की तरह दिखता है कि चैलेंजेस और बढ़ाता है.
ओके.
सो मतलब लेट्स से कि जबलपुर के पास से, जबलपुर से एक एक्सप्रेसवे जाता है, तो जबलपुर के कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करेगा कि और चैलेंज दे देगा इन टर्म ऑफ अर्बन इकोसिस्टम.
ओके.
है ना. तो तुम सॉल्यूशन के तौर पे बोल सकते हो कि एक्सप्रेसवे आने से एम्प्लॉयमेंट की अपॉर्चुनिटी बढ़ेगी,
बढ़ेगी, लॉजिस्टिक्स
सिटी
बढ़ेंगे.
का.
हाँ.
हाँ, लॉजिस्टिक बढ़ेगा. बट व्हाट चैलेंजेस इट कैन आल्सो गेट.
ओके.
है ना. तो तुम
डायरेक्ट.
उस पर्सपेक्टिव से बताना था.
ठीक है.
तो तुमको उधर जाना ही नहीं था जिधर मतलब कि वो.
पुणे एक्सप्रेसवे और ये सब
हाँ,
ज्यादा नहीं.
अगर वो तुम बता दिए होते और पहली बार में वो कवर कर दिए होते, तो इट वुड हैव बीन 75 प्लस हो जाता तुम्हारा. 75 6 80 के
ओके.
आसपास चला जाता.
ओके.
अदरवाइज प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स ओके है, कंटेंट तुम्हारा ओके है, कैरियर ओरिएंटेशन भी बहुत ओके है. बस वही दो जगह थोड़ा थोड़ा कम देना पड़ा मुझे.
हाँ.
एनालिटिकल में ही थोड़ा कम हुआ.
ओके.
सब्जेक्ट की इनसाइट भी तुम्हारी अच्छी है. मैंने सब जगह थोड़ा कंजर्वेटिव होते हुए कम भी मार्क्स दिया है, तो यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट इट.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर, मैं तो बोलूंगा कि ये 50s की रेंज में रखिए आप.
नहीं, वैसे रखने से नहीं होता, मतलब सब देखना पड़ता है. तो मतलब मुझे लगता है कि जैसे कुछ थोड़ा मैं ज्यादा मॉडेस्ट भी रहा. आई कुड नॉट आस्क यू वेरी, मतलब
ये
होता है
सर
ना कि
वेरी
हाँ.
इंटरेस्ट उसके क्वेश्चन.
हाँ, तो वो पहली बार दे रहे थे, तुमको देना ही आगे, तो हम थोड़ा वो ही थे, क्वेश्चन भी आसान ही पूछे. ठीक है, पर ऐसे ठीक है. यू कैन इम्प्रूव. रिकॉर्ड तो कर ही रहा था ना, मैं बंद कर देता हूँ मैं. तो इस हिसाब